These matchups are nuts at the 2023-24 World Juniors. With the preliminary rounds coming to a close, this sets the stage for the matchups that are bound to happen in the quarterfinals. Unfortunately, with that, Germany and Norway, the two last place teams in each division, head to a relegation game to decide who will be participating in the tournament and who will not. But with all of this, let's just get started on previewing all of the quarterfinal games, and this one is going to be exciting. Let's start with Slovakia and Finland. Finland finished with one win, one overtime win, zero overtime losses, and two regulation losses to put them third in Group A. Their point leaders were Kasper Halttunen with 3 goals and 3 assists for 6 points. Jere Lasilla put up 2 goals and 3 assists for 5 points. And Yanni Nyman put up 1 goal and 2 assists for 3 points in the tournament. As for their team stats, they finished seventh in the tournament in scoring efficiency, sixth on the power play, fifth on the penalty kill, and fourth in save percentage.
Previewing the Slovaks, who finished with 3 regulation wins, 0 overtime wins and losses, and 1 regulation loss, which resulted in them being second in Group B. Their point leaders were Servac Petrovsky with 5 goals, 4 assists for 9 points. Philip Meshar had 1 goal, 6 assists for 7 points, and Maxim Sherbak had 1 goal, 5 assists for 6 points. They finished third in scoring efficiency, first on the power play, third in the penalty kill, and fifth in save percentage.
As for our prediction, we believe that this matchup is probably going to be really tough, and I think we can definitely agree on it. It'll be a fantastic game to watch. But we're going to give the slight edge to the Slovaks. They seem to have more potential on offense with guys like Servac Petrovsky putting up 9 points with 5 goals. He's been on fire. And maybe their goaltending is somewhat close with Adam Gayan and Nicholas Coco in net. But I think it's going to be a very close game, and we have given the edge to the Slovaks.
Moving on to the second quarterfinal, we got Czechia versus Canada. The Czechs finished with 2 wins, 0 overtime wins, 1 overtime loss, and 1 regulation loss, which resulted in them being third in Group B. For point leaders, they had Yuri Kulich, drafted by Buffalo, with 4 goals, 3 assists for 7 points. Matyas Malofsky had 0 goals, 7 assists, a playmaker. Edward Saleh had 3 goals and 2 assists for 5 points. In terms of team stats, they were fourth in scoring efficiency, fourth on the power play, fourth in the penalty kill, and sixth in save percentage.
All right, now heading to Canada, they finished with 3 wins, zero overtime wins, zero overtime losses, and one regulation loss coming to Sweden, which resulted in them finishing second in Group A. Their point leaders was Macklin Celebrini first with 4 goals and 4 assists for 8 points. Carson Repkov, he had 2 goals and 2 assists for 4 points. And Denton Matejchuk, who had 0 goals, 4 assists for 4 points. As for their team stats, pretty decent all around. They finished second in scoring efficiency, third on the power play, sixth on the penalty kill, maybe could work on that, and second in save percentage.
Our prediction here is we got Canada beating the Czechs. Overall, this is a pretty close matchup in terms of defensive stats. Goaltending, I'm pretty sure Canada will have the edge because Matisse Russo has been outstanding. Obviously, the Canadians got to watch out for Kulich and Malofsky and Saleh, but also they've got really good defensemen who seem very capable of handling those guys in Lamro and Matejchuk. So overall, we do got Canada winning this one.
Now previewing USA versus Latvia. As for the Americans, they finished with 3 wins, one overtime win for and zero overtime losses and zero regulation losses, so technically undefeated. They finished with that. They finished first in Group B, just edging out the Slovaks. As for their point leaders, Frank Nazar had 0 goals and 8 assists for 8 points, so what a stat line there. Cutter Gauthier had 1 goal and 7 assists for 8 points, and Gavin Brindley put up 6 goals and 2 assists for 8 points as well. As for their team stats, pretty spectacular. They finished first in scoring efficiency, fourth on the power play, first on the penalty kill, and third in save percentage.
Previewing the Lats, who had 1 win, 0 overtime wins, 0 overtime losses, and 3 regulation losses, which resulted in them being fourth in Group A. Their win came against Germany, which sent shockwaves throughout the tournament. In terms of point leaders, Sandis Vilmanis had 2 goals, 1 assist for 3 points. Dons Lukmelis had 0 goals, 3 assists for 3 points. And Peteris Boulans had 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points. Their team stats are not that great. 10th in scoring efficiency, 10th on the power play, 9th in penalty kill, and 8th in save percentage.
Our prediction for this, maybe not shockingly, is that the Americans are going to win this one. Maybe Latvia can try to keep it close, try to contain the Americans like they were sort of doing with Sweden and maybe try to edge them out, but I think it's pretty fair to say that the Americans are going to come out on top as they are just amazing in everything. Power play is something that they could work on, but as for the penalty kill of the lats is not that fantastic either. And now we will head to the Sweden and Switzerland game.
Previewing Sweden, who finished with 3 wins, 0 overtime wins, 1 overtime loss, and 0 regulation losses, which resulted in them being first in Group A. Noah Osland had 2 goals, 4 assists for 6 points, while Felix Ungersorum had 1 goal, 5 assists for 6 points. Otto Stenberg also had 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points. They rank 5th in scoring efficiency, 2nd on the power play, 2nd on the penalty kill, and 1st in save percentage.
Now, as for Switzerland, they had 1 regulation win, 0 overtime wins, 0 overtime losses, and 3 regulation losses. This resulted them in finishing 4th in Group B, making sure that they would not be participating in the relegation game. As for their point leaders, Jonas Tybell put up 1 goal and 4 assists for 5 points, leading the team. Rodwin Dionikio had 2 goals and 2 assists for 4 points, and Gregory Weber had 1 goal and 3 assists for 4 points. As for their team stats, not so great, but they finished 8th in scoring efficiency, 8th on the power play, 8th on the penalty kill, and 10th in save percentage.
Our prediction here is a pretty obvious one, with the Swedish winning. Obviously, they're in front of their home crowd, which is loud as always, clapping after everything that goes on. Obviously, the matchup is there on paper. They're a much better team than the Swiss, and that home crowd is definitely going to help them get over the hump. That'll be it for this one. Thank you for watching this video. Comment down below your thoughts on who you think will win the quarters and who will win the tournament, and we will see you in the next one.